Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, yeah, we've got ourselves a prize fight coming up. Urban Meyer has chimed in, and he thinks this is going to be a big-time battle. And this is a game that a lot of people are talking about. It's all over the interwebs. It's everywhere. And it's understandable. I mean, these are two powerhouses getting ready to square off. And we remember what happened 2 years ago at Neyland. It was an amazing game, probably one of the best that's ever been played there. And this is going to be a bit of a different game. There's not going to be as much scoring, obviously, but it should be a heck of a battle because Tennessee's defense is playing lights out. Alabama's got their great quarterback in Jalen Milroe, and I've got a lot of opinions on it as well. But let's get into this thing because let's see what Urban Meyer had to say about this game coming up.
I think the SEC, I used to talk to our players about it. It's a heavyweight fight, and you got a prize fight going on, and big, strong, athletic guys going after each other. What just happened is Alabama and Tennessee got hit and they got knocked down, Mark. They had to pick themselves up. I'd say Alabama might have got a standing 8 count against Vanderbilt. They did survive the 5th, 6th, 7th round against South Carolina. So I cannot really wait to watch it. If we can't watch it live, I'm going to go back and watch it because this, to me, is the testimony of the alpha. You are in a prize fight. Isn't that a great visual too? You are actually in a fight, and you just got hit right square in the jaw. Pick yourself up, dust it off, and go extremely hard because the guy facing you, I mean, that's SEC, man. This is going to be the will of wills. I'm going to go Alabama. Alabama's whoever has the ball last. I keep going back and forth with this. I'm going to pick. Mark's going to get pissed, but I'm going to go Tennessee because it's his home. I think it's a draw.
It's an upset.
It's a draw.
I'm not pissed.
It's a draw.
I'm not pissed. Please give them some.
Give them some motivation.
Yes, give them some motivation.
They'll take anything they can get right now.
And the guy down there in the bottom right-hand corner, or it'd be your right-hand corner. That's Mark Ingram. Of course, he won. Didn't he win the Heisman at Alabama? So, of course, he's rooting for Alabama. But you can tell, look, Urban's coached in the SEC. He's coached out west. He's coached in the Big Ten. But listen to him how he talks about the SEC. He's like, it's a different world. And it is. It is like a prize fight. It's just one-on-one battles everywhere. And nobody's going to give. So I would expect Saturday night's game to be really rough. Now, it's going to be a 3:30 game, but that's almost an evening game. And what I'm hoping happens, I want to see Tennessee get back to going fast. I think that would help Nico. It would make it harder for the defense to set up for all the different formations they want to do because once you're in a certain personnel, if Tennessee goes fast, you don't have time to switch those guys out. And if you try, we're going to go ahead and hike the ball, and you're going to get an offsides or a 12 men on the field. And there are teams that get 12 men on the field outside of Florida. Sorry, Florida, but you had that coming. I know everybody thinks it's just Florida that does that, but it happens to other teams too. All right, now we're going to get into Crane and Company, and we'll hear what they've got to say. They're on the same mindset I am. I want to see Tennessee go back to 2022, go fast. I want to see Nico go through his first progressions, and if they're not there, I want to see him take off and run. Just exactly what Hendon Hooker used to do all the time. If it wasn't a quarterback draw, he would just take off and get his 10 or 15 yards and not worry about it. Nico needs to run more. He's a great runner. He's got a nose for the end zone if he's allowed. You saw him score 3 touchdowns with his legs in the Citrus Bowl against a top 10 defense, which was Iowa, which was the only thing on Iowa's team that was any good was their defense. But that hasn't happened. He's only had 1 running touchdown this year. It's because I think Heupel's protecting him. But look, it's time. We're halfway through this year. We're in a must-win situation. There's no way to get past this game without a W and still get in the playoff, in my opinion. I just don't see it happening. But anyway, let's see what they've got to say.
Tennessee isn't going as fast as what Tennessee normally does because they're saying, you know what, I guess we're going to have to win this game with defense.
Yeah.
So we don't want the defense out there for all these snaps. But one of the biggest advantages to take the thinking out of it and playing quarterback for Josh Heupel and going that fast is it makes it simpler. You're catching defenses in base more because you're going faster. The math is already done. It's not a Sudoku, right? It's simple addition. So if you're Tennessee, at some point you say, you know what, we got to go back to being us on offense. We got to start going fast. And damn it, if we got the defense out there for extra snaps, well, then they're out there. But we have to at some point, and you may get a 2-for-1. You may be able to catch Bama because they're actually been pretty predictable in what they're doing defensively. You may catch them in base a lot or in man-free a lot or whatever they're doing and make it easier for Nico to think. But you're also going so fast that you don't have time for Nico to sit there and think about it in between plays. Well, I'm getting this call in. Well, I guess we're going slow because it's going to be a defensive game. I just don't need to screw it up. That's what it seems like.
It'd be interesting. If I was allowed to give recommendation to Tennessee on offense, it would be this: to roll Nico out more. And they did it some against Florida and had a lot of success. I would do it even more. Think about all the problems we just mentioned. Rolling him out solves, right? One, it helps simplify your progressions because you're not having to read
eliminating
full
half
field,
the field,
right? You eliminate half the field. Two, helps the offensive line. Three, you get a young quarterback who can run the football really well, already on the move to set up for the run if he doesn't let the football go. Now, one point that people will counter with is, yeah, but then you become so right-hand dominant, you're only doing that to his right hand. They rolled him to the left agaast Florida, and he had several completions.
Yeah, well, y'all's ass got to move the ball at some point. So right-hand dominant,
and they run the ball so well that you can also roll off a play action. Incidentally, I've been calling for Alabama to do this more with Jalen Milroe, too, so I'd be doing it more with both the quarterbacks to get running quarterbacks on the move early with more of an RPO-type system, but especially Tennessee, I'd be rolling him all the time.
Man, I couldn't agree with that more. Now, I know our tackles have sometimes have issues with holding whenever we roll out. Those guys got to be better. We're getting ready to play Alabama. You just got to man up and be better at tackle. Look, we can't work around that crap. Don't hold. Even if the guy gets around you a little bit, let Nico make him miss at some point, because if you're going to hold him, we're screwed. Now we're 1st and 20, and it's just not going to work out. Just tape your fingers up a little bit. Don't hold. These guys are 6'6", 330 pounds, and they've got long arms, both our tackles. They're both built for the position. They need to just be better. And I believe this will be their 3rd game where they're both healthy enough to play. Hopefully they're getting back in form a little bit, and they'll play with some more confidence. But, we'll see how this plays out. But I would definitely get Nico on the move for sure. And I would have him running all over that field. And look, you don't have to be like a bowling ball. You're not Dylan Sampson. We don't expect you to bang into people and knock them over. You can always go down, but get your yardage. What we don't need are the sacks. I would go through my progression 1 and 2, and if they're not open, I'm taking off. Even if you only get 2 yards, that's way better than losing 7. So anyway, this is a big game coming Saturday night, and you can see everybody's ready for it. It should be fantastic. And here's also what I can tell you. There is no tomorrow for the Tennessee Vols. They must win this game, period.
He's hooking. Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no tomorrow. You need to listen to Apollo. He knows a lot. And also, I'll be live tonight on Blue Chip Breakdown. I'll be on there around 7:45 if you want to check that out. Again, that's Blue Chip Breakdown. If you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover all these big college sports stories. If you've not subscribed, boom, 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 right there. Little button. Doesn't cost you a dime. Help you get my videos. And right over here's the most recent video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.